Alright, how's it going, everyone? Welcome to another stream. Give me one moment. I'm gonna go ahead and try and tell everyone I'm streaming, do the whole thing. And thanks for stopping by. One more. Well, alright. Basically, I'm ready to start. Thanks so much for coming through, checking out the stream. I was thinking what I'd do this time is work on this picture of Mitsurugi from Soul Calibur. It's been a while. I drew this some time ago, and I meant to get back to it. I just never got back to it. But I wanted to. So back to the comic for the Divinity. There's this. There's a sequence that I want to work on. Um, I basically had the storyboard already done, right? And then what I do is I usually make the storyboard and I have the script or whatever kind of set up to some degree, and I go forward. And then drawing pages takes me a lot longer than obviously drawing a storyboard for like a whole chapter. So getting up to this point where I am working on the current comic pages for the Divinity, um, I don't kind of like the scene before the next scene happens. I kind of want to make a more better transition there. So what I want to do is probably draw two more pages um, to make that kind of go over better, so that I have enough information for the reader to kind of understand the mental jump I need them to make to get back to where all these other things are going to happen. Essentially, I need to give out information about the importance of a certain situation, kind of give out some more breadcrumbs about certain things, while also having it feel natural. So I'm thinking we're going to do some type of montage, but I just haven't boarded those yet. So I was like, okay, let me jump on something else so you guys can have, see some other visual variety or something. Yeah. Let me see here. Oh, let me also post this in this here Discord. Alright, let's get to work. Go ahead and deafen here. You can also mute this because I'm good here. Alright. And let's bring that screen back. But yeah, how's everyone doing? Hey, how's it going, Crocodile? How you been? I haven't heard from you today. Some of the guys on Discord have been checking out uh Ghost in the Shell standalone complex, and I don't know. I just feel like it's definitely one of the best anime. Um, this isn't even specifically to you, Crocodile. I'm just talking in general to anyone listening. I really think that that anime deserves, I don't know, more people talking about it. Um, but I think it's understandable. There's so many other anime to talk about. But even in like when you think about like people going back and watching older anime, it kind of doesn't. It doesn't seem to like garner enough people kind of going back and checking it out. And that feels odd. But I feel like the writing in there is really good. It's really solid. It looks great. Production IG did a great job compositing and everything like that. Um, it's just really good. Voice acting's good. Even from the English voice acting, it's good. It's good there too. It's definitely a really high quality show. I'm trying to figure out which lines I want to put down and which ones I want to just like indicate through shadow. Though I know I can also just change the line work to a specific color. I also know that, I don't know, sometimes less is more. Sometimes. Am I redrawing this? I'm gonna fix certain parts of it up, but I think most of it works. I'm kind of inking it for the most part. How does that look on you guys' screen? Yeah, I'm kind of just inking it for the most part. Um, I basically have found this and was like, oh crap, you know what'd be cool if I like finish it? Cause it's funny. I think for the most part, I finish almost everything that I kind of draw, and then like I guess in the last 5ish years, I built up a certain amount of drawings where I actually didn't finish them. So for the longest time, I felt a little different when I would see those memes of artists being like, yeah, starting all of these projects and not finishing it. For the most part, I'd basically stick on just one project and just finish it all the time. That's just something I did. But I don't know. I guess more drawings you do, the more sketching you do, and you actually plan to finish it, it's it's possible for things to get away from you. But yeah, I think this will be cool. I'm gonna definitely take this one a little further. Um, I think parts of it work really well, and other parts of it I want to push a little bit. Either back, like erase some of it, or forward. Depends on how I see it. I'm also. Oh wait, let me read here. Not gonna lie. I like the no color on this a lot. One a lot. But seeing it with your current color skills will be sick. I don't even. Uh, I don't even color enough anymore. I don't. I don't feel like I'd be able to do this one that well. But I'll definitely make two versions where I can just kind of mess around with just doing this in gray, and then also have one color. But I did have a vision for this image, and it was gonna be something inspired by a certain particular ukiyo-e artist, and I do not remember their name, but they were really good at doing like actiony type of imagery in the ukiyo-e style. I think their name was like, it started with an H. It wasn't Hokusai. It was some other guy. Like, I don't even want to butcher it, so I'm not even gonna try and attempt it. But I'll have to look it up and figure that out. But yeah, I had a little plan for this. But yeah, when I think about it, even though I feel like I have problems when it comes to um, uh, doing a lot of fan art, I definitely feel like if there's one thing I've done a bunch of fan art of, it's definitely Soul Calibur. I've drawn actually a decent, I would say a decent amount. I haven't done too much like crazy recently, but if I were to look through like all the years, I think that I definitely did a lot of Soul Calibur fan art. I've been kind of sort of trying to get away from the reference of this because, well, the whole time I haven't been using it. Once I had the drawing of it, I kind of was like, okay, I can kind of get away from it now. Because I think I tried my best to um, utilize the reference enough while like paying attention to the armor. So now I guess I'm using what I put down as my guiding light, if you will. Figuring out what I'm gonna do with the line work here, because I don't want to sit around and look at the reference too hard. Then it might uh, make things a little boring to look at, I guess. Can't get married to the reference material essentially. I think I'm gonna practice drawing Spider-Man more often actually. I recently saw this TikTok about, well, it was this dude and he was kind of like saying like Spider-Man's like this great um he's this great character to kind of draw in dynamic poses, and not just that, he was saying that he's great to kind of teach art essentially. A lot of fundamentals. You got your anatomy, you have contour lines, and since he's always doing poses, and since he can kind of like, he can be like a man or he can be like a spider. He can like twist his body in different directions and all this type of stuff. He has these jumping poses. He's very dynamic character. He can be very dynamic. And he can also just be naturally just a guy walking around in a suit on. So you can do so much with him. And I was thinking about that for a moment, and I was just like, you know what? He's kind of right. Um, he's kind of right. I think that even if I don't post them or whatever, I think that'd be just fun to play around with. Cause I don't usually practice drawing Spider-Man and things of that nature. That looks off. Okay. I also have been making sure to just do all this on one layer. I'm not trying to be too precious with certain things. Um, Kind of just give things a natural feel. Just trying to go for that more often, more organic, more natural feel. Though I'm still working, digitally. I definitely want to try and make things feel like they were done by hand to some degree. So use certain methods to kind of get that across. I saw a glimpse of well, I actually saw two things. Saw a glimpse of that Naruto X or Cross, however you say it. Um, what was it? Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and also, what is it called? What was it called? Batman and Robin Year One. Definitely planning on eventually buying that one. So I bought the first one. Um, like the artist on that. I don't know where it's gonna go as far as the storytelling goes, but the art and the storytelling through it visually just works very nice. I have no idea what's going on in the Ninja Turtles X Naruto book, but I think the colors and the art style looks really nice. It's really fitting. Um, I feel like the most important thing about a book like that is, I mean, you get to kind of utilize obviously Naruto, and they went back and made sure that they were. This is before Shippuden, so and obviously it's Ninja Turtles, so the book should feel fun, and I think they're doing that. Like definitely emphasize fun. I mean, Multiverses has a comic and it's on the shelves, and the art there also looks fun. And it looks very crazy, like stuff is just happening. But I think that works fine for obviously something like Multiverses, which is this universe clashing type of idea. But I feel like the Ninja Turtles joint doesn't have to be as crazy as that. But I wonder what they're gonna do with it. I'm trying to figure out how to emphasize this shadow a little more. So I see I didn't indicate it here. I won't lie to you, I'm massively behind with comic stuff, but I don't plan on peeping the Naruto joint for a bit. Oh, okay. You like to? I know you'd said to me that you like to kind of build up, like let the story build up before you kind of start checking those things out. I understand. That's definitely it's not a bad idea. Keeps things interesting because you can kind of well, you read quite quickly, and I understand that you know comics aren't like a hard thing to read anyway. So you can kind of go through those stories pretty quickly. But also, comic books definitely when they come out like on a not even a week to week, but more so on an issue by issue basis versus like having a complete story arc. You don't really know where they're gonna go until they kind of get there, and it's kind of like a gamble. You kind of try and wait and see to make sure they go somewhere where you'd like them to go before kind of buying into the whole entire thing. That's another thing there. Alright, I think that kind of works. And that's up close. I think I need to also go here just a little bit. I think that kind of sort of works. Wondering, should I also thicken up on something else here? Because at this point, I gotta get back to the reference because I know that the pants they have a light side on like around here, but I wonder if there's supposed to be a some type of dark part that goes like here or something. So let me check that out. I think V Metal is messing up my ability to enjoy comics. Oh man, whoa. I think this is that thing where I'm becoming more of a creator, obsessed to, opposed to a consumer. Ah, this is. See, I think that just comes with I mean, you might be right. I think that it's more like Actually, no, you just might be right. I don't even know. Because it took me a while to kind of get back to checking out others' works all the time like that as well. But when you get comfortable with how your stuff is coming out and everything, you kind of come back to it. I can't say it'll be the same though, because we are different, as you know. But I mean, everyone's different, yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like I totally get it. I mean, there was a time where I just was like, nah, I don't want to read anything. I'm gonna just focus on making my own thing, because it's just time well spent, kind of like doing what you want to do type thing. And if you enjoy, working on your own comic, checking out other stories that are already established, have a team and all that type of stuff, all the time, take some time. But I do say, if you're trying to learn from someone else's art and stuff like that, there's some really good stuff out there. I think the crazy part about being a comic book artist is it takes you so much less time to read someone's work and check it out, or even check out someone's work, essentially consume their work, study from it, all type of stuff, than it does for them to usually make that work or make your own work, right? Which is why it feels so crazy when someone can sit down and read your work and check it out, and they're just going and they're enjoying it, and they're going and they're enjoying it, and they get done a chapter and they go, wow, that's pretty good, or whatever they say. And you think about it like, yo, that chapter took me like a month or 2 weeks or 3 weeks just to make, and they just read it in like 5 minutes. And it's just this little funny little dilemma that goes into your mind, like, oh my god, that's what it's like, huh? Like, I'm gonna work on this art for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, whatever it is. I'm gonna put it out, and people are gonna check it out and have an opinion of it in like less than like 5 minutes. They're just gonna be like, okay, cool, I get it. They're gonna look at it. They're gonna be like, yep, I've made up my mind. You're like, wow, yep. But the good part about, being a creator yourself is that the more techniques you kind of employ into your own work, you can look at like some other professional or whatever, some professional, and you can kind of look at how they did a certain narrative technique in their comic, and kind of look at how they set it up and go, oh, okay, I can kind of use like that. I can like figure out how to what is it called, reverse engineer it, and then I can kind of set it up in a type of similar way and kind of get some of the same type of results if people care about my story enough or my characters enough. So that's really awesome. Now, why did I use that like that there? Okay, I see it, because from far away, that's what happens. If anyone's also watching over on Twitch, go ahead and put something in the chat. Oh, get an alarm. Alright, that's one phone. Excuse me. I think it's funny. That just means I didn't take the the device out of my pocket, so I had to take it out just now. Alright, so where are we? What else do I want to do with this? Where'd that cat go? She was over here somewhere. Yeah, I think it's around that time where I need to kind of start checking out some reference that I should have definitely had prepared for the stream and everything, but you know, sometimes you don't do all that immediately. I'm also thinking that I'll probably do something different with the fire. I think I'll just use a different pen or something. And I haven't figured out what I want to do different with the hair. That's also a thing. We got 2 days left until the last bit of episodes from Arcane comes out. It's gonna be interesting. "40-minute episodes. They could get away with doing a lot, but I just wonder what exactly they're gonna give us. Like, how are they gonna make it work? Also, I noticed that, you know what? It's all about the shapes. I'll just let this be. So if I can get the shapes right, I can kind of do something else, whether or not it's in a value or something or not. I definitely don't know anything about like League of Legends as far as things go. Like, I don't know where they're gonna go with it. Like, but we're definitely missing some characters who wasn't in the recent episodes. Um, I mean, Jace could have stayed gone. I mean, they chose to bring him back. I think Jace could have he could have kind of stayed away. That'd have been definitely not a favorite character of mine. But Echo kind of not being there, I'm like, oh man, it's been like they didn't give us 6 episodes, no Echo. And you think about the real like the screen time of that, and like okay, 40-minute episodes each time. It's a lot of runtime. But I guess they're kind of like, oh, he's not that important or something. I don't know. I get it. The story is relatively starts with Jinx and Vi, and it's around surrounding them. But I do feel like he's an he's a neutral good character in season 1. Nothing to dislike about him type thing. But I guess he also once he kind of does what he does, he kind of slows down with his importance of the story. The two moving factions are the characters completely surrounded by Vi and Jinx. So it makes sense. But I guess the more variety just feels better in that show. Hmm. Kind of just looking at these shapes from this drawing, going, what was I thinking here? Why did I, put these things together? I don't remember. It's been long enough to just not remember. What do you guys got winning game of the year? It definitely feels like Wukong is the top contender for game of the year. I definitely see it. They just won game of the year for I think it was like the joystick awards or something. I think that was today. And they won. Like cool. Definitely expected it. It was feels like as much as people talked about what's the name of that game? Final Fantasy 7 or remake joint, the part 2 joint. As soon as it dropped, people just kind of stopped talking about it. Like it came out, people played it, but they didn't like talk about it. And I was wondering about that. Like that's weird. I'm sure some big moments happened in that game. I'm sure they made some changes here and there, but probably not too many. It's interesting that people just up and stopped talking about the game. Like I think I remember people saying it was good, but I just don't remember those conversations lasting beyond that. But people gas Wukong. Like there were TikTok videos. People were just enjoying the game. It seemed like, um, people were talking about it beyond the game. I mean, it was also breaking records. What was it? Streaming records and things of that nature. Most people playing it at one time for a certain amount of time. People stayed on that game. So I'm not surprised if it wins Game of the Year. But I do think it's not as crazy as some people thinks, but I could just be hating. I'll take it. But also, I still understand if it wins Game of the Year because people seem to like it a lot. There was some of the game that came out that wasn't even nominated, but then they had like Shadow of the Erd Tree um, taking up a slot, and then during the fighting game one, they had Multiverses take up a slot. It was like that game already won Game of the Year, and when it was in like beta form, so how could it get a second chance to win Fighting Game of the Year again? And what if it wins? That'd be crazy. Yeah, I kind of like these shapes. They're not the best, but they definitely, I don't know, feel like me. Like I made them, which I did. I was just going over something I did on paper. You know, I've always liked the way Toriyama had done like smoke effects. Felt felt kind of fun. It was like these little popcorn shapes. I never sat around practicing them though. For some weird reason, I think I should probably start getting into that for many reasons because I definitely think it's cool. But yeah, you kind of see some of the sketches I've done for this and been like, oh, that's not supposed to be fire. That's supposed to be smoke. I'm like, oh, could have did better with the shape of that. I think the thing I'm gonna have to redraw probably is the bottom half of this. For the most part, I think it's fine, but then I don't like the way the hands connect to the handle of the sword, I guess. Um, Feels like it could have been better. Probably was again relying too much on my reference, not figuring out on my own a certain way, and can't crop it there. Gotta definitely, even if you can't see both hands properly, you should definitely think of how they fit together in the composition or whatever. So I want to rethink that. Definitely want to rethink that. Now this part I definitely did on a different layer. Don't know why exactly I chose to do it on a different layer, but I just thought it was the best thing to do. Dang, is that all? I don't know. There's a little bit here. Little small little pieces of fire. I might not have enough space in between it, but it's fine. Alright, got a little bit more over here. I wonder, whenever Soul Calibur does come back, which way is it gonna lean? Is it gonna be more of an anime fighter, or are they gonna keep maintaining that balance that they have of being like kind of like, oh, it's kind of like an anime fighter, but it's more like a traditional 8-way run style 3D fighter at the same time? Because they have a really good balance now. I honestly don't feel like much was wrong with like when it comes to the visuals and kind of like how the gameplay works. I feel like Soul Calibur 6 kind of did it, kind of hit it out the park for the most part. Most characters were fun to play, had their own gimmicks. There was some good stuff there for people who were veterans of the game, and good stuff there for people who were new to the game. But definitely wasn't perfect. But when it comes to like the art direction and even like the playstyle direction they went with, I think they did a great job. Yo, how's it going, Thero? I have no idea how long that has been. Yeah, but now I feel like I need to make this bigger. Because I didn't see when that popped in. But I don't know, I guess I just kind of miss it. I was definitely nowhere near being like a professional at Soul Calibur or something like that, but I was casual. I was having fun. Soul Calibur, it's definitely my favorite fighting game. Going pretty good. Finally made your return to streaming. Yes, yes, I finally made my return. So far I'm just on 2 streams a week. I think I can do that, and if that goes well, I might do more. But 2 streams a week at least, I think is pretty fun. So yeah, I had some computer trouble some time ago, which is funny because I was thinking about streaming then, and my computer was like, "Nah, you're not thinking about nothing. I'm out." It's like, wait, what? It's like, yeah, go ahead and replace some parts, bruh. It's like, but I don't know how to do this aspect. I never had to upgrade any parts of my computer at that point, so I kind of had a little, I had to go through some upgrades myself. I was like, whoa, so I gotta take this part out and plug it where? It was a whole thing, but we back. This was this shading or was this detail? Feels like it has to be detail because I think I ought to put a little bit more effort into the shading. feel like that is just enough. That's fine. That sounds cool. Literally just got my computer a couple months ago. Still ain't got the streaming yet. Oh, word. Are you looking to do like a certain type of setup? Is that why you haven't like started up? I do not like what the hair looks like. I'm thinking of trying to go darker here and there. Alright, so let's see some ideas I had from the sketch. I'm gonna try them out for a bit. See how they look. Okay, maybe. I need to experiment with that. Nah, just keep putting it off. And part of the time, I was kind of busy with other stuff. Word. That's understandable. I know you be doing a lot, man. From what I can tell, from what I've seen online. You be doing the illustrations and you be doing the murals and stuff. Man. Alright, let's try and just take this completely away. Even though... Or what I really need to do is create an interesting shape. That's what I really need to do. And create an interesting shape here and kind of get a win. So that should be low. And then we're gonna... Nah, that's not a good shape. I don't mind erasing out. It's always easier to edit a picture than to completely have to create one from scratch. So, if you have a lot of ideas, it's always cool to just sketch them down. That way, when it comes time to have a new picture, you already have something to work from. Alright, so, I think I got something here that I can kind of pull from. Yeah, be trying out here. Trying to get some career stability, understandable. What made me go back to drawing Mitsurugi? Honestly, I just remembered, oh yeah, I really like this game. And I also was like, I mean, exactly what I just said. There was some things that I want to do as far as fan art goes. I remembered I like Soul Calibur. I was working on an Ivy picture, which I drew like a year ago, And like I just learned about that because Facebook was like, "Hey, check out this memory from a year ago," and it was like you drew this picture or posted about it a year ago, and I was like, "Oh man, it's been that long." I actually forgot that I didn't finish that. So I wanted to gather a bunch of pictures to kind of make and kind of finish, and yeah, I was like, this can kind of go with that Ivy picture when I get that up and running and done again. Um, it'll be something to go along with it, but it had been just sitting there for a long time, being in like a well drawn state, I'd say. Like, drawing was good, but I did nothing else to it. So I was like, I kind of want to go back to that and kind of finish it. Alright, so this is the difficult part. Alright, it says, alright, so Mitsurugi's hair, we know, is black. I want to create some interesting shapes from this fire. Um, Fire is coming from the left hand side onto the right. So all I have to do is kind of erase, but I'm going to cheat and I'm going to use white. I'm going to use the lasso fill and we're going to see what we can kind of get from it. Because another thing is, I kind of also want to make sure that it's like not too busy with details. I mean, I get it. Focal point will probably be the face. You can always come back to the face, but I don't want things to be like overdone. No, nope. It's okay. This might be where we are. If that's the case, then why wouldn't we have a situation like that? And since that's in front of that one, I can kind of actually just push that back completely. That's not bad. Starting to get there with the simplicity. I've always thought that murals were like awesome, but I never thought that they were I always thought they were complicated too. So I never had like the what is it called? I never thought I could make a good one because of how complicated it looked. If I even attempted. So I never even attempted to figure out. I was like, nah, that's just not for me. Like, like I would see it and I would see people go up there with a crane and get up there and move around on a wall, and I was just like, I think the amount of embarrassment I would have if I like did a bad one would just be too bad. I would just be like, yep, never again. People like, yo, that mural, you messed it up. I'd be like, what mural? I never did a mural. Never in my life have I ever did a mural. I don't know who you're speaking about. I think I'd be too embarrassed. But I hear there's some good techniques to kind of get that stuff to work out well, a little better. I just was like, nah, murals definitely might not be for me because it's kind of like I have a friend who does like tattoos, and like I'm like, nah, I don't wanna, I don't wanna get into that. And it wasn't just because like I already don't have like necessarily an interest of being a tattoo artist, but it's also like the idea of messing up on a tattoo. It just feels too permanent to have to, deal with, So I'm like, nah, I'd rather paint on paper or canvas or draw on paper or digital canvas, whatever. Um, but I do hear it pays well when it does pay. You know, that's definitely a thing. Gotta do something with the shape here. I think it kinda works, but then it doesn't. And I think I see why it doesn't. Because why would that have like an outline there? Okay. Same kind of thing here. Hey Kai, that guy's channel you had sent me. Did you see the discovery about uh lights having shadows? Cause that was crazy. Made me start thinking, like, if that's possible, what can we do with that? I don't know if you're still here, but it's the one dude's channel, it's the science channel that you had sent me that you said you were checking out. He was talking about somebody doing some sort of experiment and finding out whether or not light could have a shadow, as in like light being considered a physical object. Like how could you make light a physical object in order to tell if it has shadow? It's really interesting. Makes me wonder, are they going to do any more experiments to kind of take that further as an idea? Hmm. So this one's a bigger shape here. What if I did that? Maybe. Maybe that works. This doesn't need to be here. Slowly cutting away from things that just don't need to be here the way they are. Alright, cool. Still not sure about that. That shouldn't be like that. Alright, that's looking a lot better. What do you guys think? I think the hair is looking a lot better here. Still feel like there's parts that I can like get rid of here and there, but we're looking a lot better. How did I do that? I feel like I need to just make simpler shapes here and there. I think that'll just make the difference. Okay. So, what if I'll also erase out of this from here? Can I get a little bit more detail in this hair? Something like that. Alright, that's pretty decent. Now how much facial hair does he actually have? I need to go check that out as well. So erase out of here for this ear. And I see there's some fire that's still not done. Okay. One more detail. There's usually on like a sword, on like the, I guess how the blade kind of goes, there's usually like this little shape on the back. Maybe that's like a manga thing from some things that I've seen. Let me see here. There's a katana. I'm gonna look up a picture of one. Yeah, that's usually a little, I mean, it's not actually a black part of it. It's more like because of light, because of lighting. So I can kind of get away with a certain aspect of that in the shape. Let's see. Yeah, there's a little part of it. Let me see if I can find a better picture. There we go. Okay. And there is more fire to do. Huh. See, that's confusing. Oh, I see what I did. Okay. Never mind, I see it. me see something here. If I stretch this out a little bit, well, like I've already done. What? How big is that aspect of the sword? Okay, kind of want to use this instead. Or something like it. That's gonna take forever. No, you cannot climb up on me. Oh god, so many windows just popped up. No. Okay, what is this window? What's my favorite thing I've drawn? Holy crap. My favorite thing that I've drawn is the comic that I've been working on for this long amount of time. Is my comic, The Divinity. Yeah, I don't have a favorite like piece per se, but I would just say it's my comic. What? Okay, so this is a window, and then there's supposed to be another window. Aha. But yeah, you see this little dude that, well, is kind of like my PNG tuber? That's what it's based off of. It's like this little dude that he's this martial artist, and he kind of draws these cards at this point in time in the story that kind of like his gimmick is he draws these cards to figure out what his limitation is going to be for the day. That's his teacher's way of like training him when he's away, so he doesn't get to use and access all his abilities all the time. It's based off of the idea of like, I kind of like the idea of like gaining an accolade or extra points through limiting yourself. When I was playing like games like Call of Duty or something like that, and they allow you to prestige and all that good stuff, and I was like, it'd be cool if you could like get points if like the game tells you, hey, go get a kill, or go use this thing and only use a certain amount of it or something like that. It gives you a small challenge within that. It's not just to use this item, but also to use it almost like as a handicap in that situation. I feel like that's pretty cool. I feel like I like that idea. So if I add together all the other influences, you kind of get that situation. But yeah, it's my comic called The Divinity. It is free to read at this point on Webtoon and Tapas. It's over 150 pages to check out. Whoa. That's actually funny. I didn't know that was gonna come through like that. But anyway, yeah, that definitely been my favorite thing to draw. Okay, so that is a thing of fire there, but it feels like it's drawn like it's not. Ah, because I have that part happening. Okay. So that goes over top of the fire there, so you wouldn't see that. And then, I mean, it kind of covers it even all the way down until it's all there. So I guess you wouldn't see it until here. So where's that bucket tool? For the most part, you'd see it there. And I guess I can also erase out with this pen because it wouldn't completely cover that area. I like that. Alright, where else can I erase? So I have this line here. I'm also thinking maybe I should just keep this like this too. Maybe I don't need to change that. This aspect here. Feels like it works just fine. So I think I might just keep that. See if I can erase here. Oh, that's funny. Didn't know that that was gonna do that. Oh, I'm on that layer now. Okay. A while ago, I watched this movie. I think it was it was an Otomo special type thing. It was a short. It wasn't like Robot Carnival, and it wasn't, what's that other one called? It wasn't those. It was this thing called I don't remember it, but I think there was a short in there called Combustion. And in that there was like, it was like back in the day in Japan, there was these fires breaking out everywhere, and it might have been about firefighters or something in Japan at the time. But I think back in the day I saw it. Of course I don't rewatch things, so I didn't rewatch it. But I remember seeing that and seeing the fire what is it called? Special effects. And I was like, wow, this is like the best looking, or some of the best looking fire special effects that I'd seen. Um, Something about the way the shapes kind of worked. I guess same thing with like some of the fire in like Ninja Scroll in that one particular sequence with Jubei and I don't remember his name. Kagero? No, that wasn't his name. Nah, that wasn't it. It was. I can't remember it. But either way, that one particular scene at the end of the movie, it was Gemma. That's what it was. It was Gemma. Um, where at the end of the movie, with the fire and everything everywhere, um, just like the stillness of like those that sequence, kind of getting to look at the fire for a long period of time, was pretty good. It looked good. I need to definitely do some studies on some certain type of effect animation. I think there's a lot of good stuff out there, and of course I could probably find some. Maybe I'll look up like some slow motion footage or something. Maybe that also might be helpful. Fun to look at. It's not looking bad so far. Definitely some things I want to change here and there, but not bad. Can I make this thing? Actually, that's fine. Nose there. Thinking of also bringing. See, I don't want to bring those lines back because I was like, okay, maybe you want to keep those because you could change the color of the line, and then it wouldn't be so hard to, I guess, pay attention to what's going on in the picture because you could kind of knock it back a value. But by taking it away completely, I can just um, pop in something within the color aspect of it. So I don't really need it there for like a line indicator. But then I'm also like, okay, when I go further down, I really have to know what I'm doing here. Oh, you guys can't probably understand. But around this area here, um, if I get rid of that line and also this stuff, because this stuff is also in fire, well, you kind of lose your kind of indicator of what you're looking at right there. So I'm like, okay, I need to at least leave that, and then as I go further up the sword, I can kind of just indicate things with a shape of color. I think that might be cool. Still need to draw on the hilt and some other details. Or the handle, because I don't remember what part of that is again. So we didn't get down here. Well, I think that's as far as I'm gonna push it right now on stream. Thanks so much, everyone, for hanging out with me. I know it was a bit shorter today. I actually would love to stream for like 2 hours with you guys each day that I do stream, but that will not always be the case. But thanks so much for everyone hanging out. Really appreciate you guys on Twitch as well as on YouTube. Um, as you guys know, um, well, now you guys know. I'm trying to stream 2 times a week. Sometime around, I pushed it to maybe around 5:30, 6 o'clock, up to about 8 o'clock, or 8 p.m. Eastern time. Gotta say that. Um, but for the most part, I'm gonna be working on my comic, the Divinity, and also sometimes illustrations. When things get done, as far as these illustrations or some of the comic stuff that I'm working on, I'll be posting most of that stuff onto Patreon for you guys to check out first. I have a bunch of tiers. You guys can go to the links in the description to check them out. Um, but yeah, if you guys are interested in the comic that I work on, it's called The Divinity. Let me see here. Let me open. Wait, why did I click open? I can just go to recent. So it's kind of like what that's looking like. I worked on this guy with you guys the other day. I added some small details here and there, some adjustments, but it's kind of like what that looks like for the most part. If you see it, it's an action adventure comic, um, built kind of like uh, shonen manga type beat. Um, we have we have a bit of action, we have a bit of fighting and things of that nature. Um, I try to make it fun and also intriguing and things of that nature. Um, been working on it for a while, so there's some good amount of pages that are out for you guys to check out. So feel free to go to Webtoon or Tapas to check it out and read it for yourself and tell me what you think. And if you like it, subscribe to it and whatnot. Alarms are just going off left and right. But that's about it, everyone. Thanks so much. I'm going to see you guys on Tuesday. Next Tuesday. That'll also be another free release on that day on Webtoon and Tapas. For you guys to check out the comic, and I'll probably also be working on comics on stream then. So feel free to hang out with me on stream. And if you guys want to see when I go up next and whatnot and what I post, follow me on social media. I mainly post on what we call it nowadays X, Blue Sky, and here for the most part. Thanks so much, and I'll see you guys next week. Peace, everyone.